Good day, fish tankers. Betta fish or Siamese fighting fish are a popular choice for beginners for their first pet fish, but they can be difficult fish sometimes to keep. They're not as easy as it looks, and here are 5 mistakes that beginners and some more advanced aquarists often make with their betta fish that may well end up killing the fish. You want to know what those 5 mistakes are and how to prevent them? Let's take the plunge. Okay, the first mistake is too small, too little space. And that comes from the fact that we've often seen bettas kept in these small cups displayed like that in the store. The reason why one can get away with it is because they gulp some air from the atmosphere as well as taking in air for the gills. That's why they can survive in these small spaces. But that is far from ideal. That doesn't mean they must be kept in a puddle. And nowadays you see them like here. It has definitely improved, and here we can see they're still in smallish enclosures, but it's a lot better than a cup. It's filtered, it's heated, and that water is part of a bigger system and is not there forever home anyway. Now, people have seen these Fluval betta kits. They used to be 2.5 gallons. Now there's a 6-gallon kit. I'd much prefer the latter. You can keep a betta on a 2.5 gallon aquarium. I've kept one in an aquarium that's almost 3.5 gallons. It can be done, but you can keep a Great Dane or a big dog in an apartment if you walk it all the time. All right, so it's not ideal and it makes it more difficult for you. Now, what is the ideal size for a betta tank, or what is the minimum size, should I rather say? Let me know in the comments below. But I would say, like this betta tank that I recently set up, 5 gallons, 20 liters, is really the minimum. You can do it in less, but you know, it's a small body of water. The margin of error is so small, especially if you're a beginner. It's not a great idea. And in a slightly bigger size, 5 gallons or more, you got room for a heater, or even in this case, a little bit of a clean-up crew. You see, is a Nereid snail as well as two Ottos. So I would say 20 liters, 5 gallons. That is the minimum size for a betta tank or any aquarium containing fish. Anything less, I think you should rather stick to shrimp and avoid disaster, because small tanks, small margin for error. That leads us to the next thing, and that is they like it hot. So too cold is another mistake that people make with bettas, because they see them in the cups in the store or in optimum conditions. And in the store, you must also remember, aquarium store, all the tanks bring the latent temperature of the air there inside the store up, so it's a bit warmer than your house probably. But bettas like it hot, so keep your aquarium at 26 degrees. That's 79 degrees Fahrenheit. That's sort of a temperature they like. I think 24 degrees Celsius, if you keep your normal tropicals, they like it a bit warmer, so they need a heater. Then number 3 is open aquariums. Can spell disaster. Bettas are jumpers. They have a tendency to jump out, so you have to put a lid on that tank. I usually just cut glass lids, and you can make small slots for your airline tubing and your cord of your heater or whatever else you have in the tank. But it's got to have a lid, because even the longfin bettas, I've learned that the hard way, that look ungainly, like they're not going to jump, even they have jumped out before. So bettas jump, keep a lid on the tank. If you're not going to have a lid, then keep a water level low, paludarium style. But if you have one of these aquascapes with the open tops and the rimless tanks, perhaps reconsider before you're getting a betta, because it might end up on the floor. Then number 4 would be, bettas don't like big filters with lots of flow. Too much flow is something that will also sometimes kill a betta. The best thing for a betta is to have some air-driven filtration, sponge filter, even under gravel filters work well if you can still find them. But slow flow is what bettas like. They come from swampy areas. Even the placats don't like high flow. So I would go with an air-driven filter with a betta, or if you do have a power filter, make sure it's set to the lowest setting, or that it sprays against the side of a glass or against a piece of hardscape so as to deflect the flow. And then the last thing, number 5 with bettas, and I've made that mistake to my great dismay, is Too much or the wrong food can kill a beta quickly. Now, I feed my beta 4 of these pellets per day. It might be 2 in the morning, it might be 2 in the afternoon. Their stomach is about the size of their eyes. If you feed them too much, then they will become bloated. So I use a specialized beta pellet like the Sikari, BioGold, or Atkinson's, I think is the name of the other beta product, or the best would be Denelay Beta Booster. I feed them something specifically for betas, these pelleted foods, and I feed very little. Like I've said, 4 pellets a day, depends on your beta size, is more than enough for mine. And then you make sure they're not bloated. Once a week you can alternate that. You can just feed them a few frozen bloodworms or a little bit of frozen brine shrimp. I find they like the bloodworms, just to keep them regular. But don't overfeed them, and feed them specialized beta food or frozen foods. Be careful of a lot of flakes and pellets in a community setup. That's why betas sometimes don't do so great there, because they overeat, and sure enough they get digestive problems and they get bloated, and that's the end of your beta. Well, that's it from me, Fish Tankers. I hope this helped you, but these are the 5 major mistakes that I find and that I've made myself with beta fish. Then please remember to just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the channel greatly. And until I see you again, take good care of those domestic denizens of the deep.
Mm-hmm.